You make a reveal in the book that you and Cassie broke up briefly.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said it was because you weren't communicating as well as you could have been. What were you not communicating well about? And then how did you learn to move forward from that?
I put a lot of pressure on our relationship, and I sort of was always defending it, or I was overcompensating and trying too hard. And that was the case. I was almost pushing her away by trying to bring her closer, of saying like, no, we'll be fine. We'll be engaged by this date. We'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. And it was sort of overwhelming her all over again, of being like, we need to talk about this. You can't just like go out in the media and say this, or you can't just tweet about this or Instagram like this without communicating and talking with me. And we both just let a lot of things, little things build up because, you know, we got busy. I mean, she was doing a lot of things on her own. I was doing things on my own, and we forgot that what made us so strong together was that communication and working through problems together and being there for one another and being a team.
So where do you see you guys' relationship now in terms of, it sounds like you are so solid together, but you know, do you kind of take it day by day? Could you potentially briefly break up again in the future and reunite again in the future? Like, what kind of conversations do you have about that?
Yeah, I mean, we're a normal couple. I mean, there is no certainty right now. I mean, we're not engaged, we're not married. I love her to bits and pieces, and I think that for us, we just need to keep communicating and having those open conversations with one another. I mean, to answer your question, I mean, we're just taking it day by day right now.
Well, hey, even if you're married, you know, it's
still a day by day thing at this point.
Here we are in the middle of a global pandemic, Colton. We don't know.
Right. There is no certainty right now in this world.
I've known you for a while now. I've been interviewing you for a couple of years. And when I heard about some of the stuff in this book, I thought, wow, Colton's really digging in and he's really opening his heart to everybody. The question, though, that everybody is going to ask you is, do you reveal in the book whether you've had that first time yet? I'm sure you're already getting this question.
You know, I have a quote in the book that says, nobody talks about your sex life unless you don't have one. Then that's all people want to talk about. And I understand by me, you know, talking about it, naming the book that, it's going to bring up those questions again. Cass and I, for our relationship, have decided that we don't want to share that. It's sort of funny because I feel like her baby announcement will be my virginity announcement all at the same time. So you sort of get a 2-for-1 whammy when we decide that we're ready to have kids. But you know what? It's just at this point, we sort of just like laugh and smile and move on past it.
So you and Cass talk about having kids?
We do. We still talk about our future, and we decided that we're not moving in together until we're married. So okay. We have that to look forward to as a next step in our relationship. But as far as like timeline and everything, we still talk about, you know, her finishing school and what's, you know, when we have time.
Well,
what's next.
The funny thing about this quarantine is a lot of relationships have, not too dissimilarly from The Bachelor, been thrust together, spotlighting your communication because you're only talking to each other. I wondered if you guys have had discussions on, has this moved you closer to a proposal, or maybe said to you, okay, let's keep on the pace we're at? What has it done?
Well, to be honest with you, for me, I mean, I slept 16, 17 hours of a few of those days because I've been dealing with the sickness. I haven't been with the family. So it's sort of been asterisk next to me. I mean, yes, they nursed me back to life, but I haven't had that, if you want to call it, microwave the relationship like everybody else has, because I've been fighting this thing off. So I don't know, maybe, who knows what our next 2-3 weeks have in store for us when I can finally rejoin them.
Whoa. Did you just tell me you're going to propose?
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that during this time.
Wouldn't be a Corona proposal.
Yeah.
So you are on the upstairs floor of Cassie's family's house. I know she's been kind of running you food and medicine, but you've essentially been isolated, even in a house with other people. What's that been like for you? How have you passed the time? Because you're a guy who stays busy.
I am, and that's been the hardest thing. And I've been trying to practice self-love and self-care and really value and take this time for myself. But mentally, I mean, you know this, I've been very open with my mental health. It's been a struggle. From a lot of the messages have been positive, but there's still people out there that are confused or mad that I got a test, or upset that I'm sharing or not sharing the medication. There's no game plan for this. There's no right or wrong ways to do it. I hope that by me being transparent and sharing with people, it helps people. But it's been a challenge mentally. I'm not gonna lie, like it's been very isolating at times and alone at times, but we're all in this together. And I have to keep that perspective that, there's nothing more important going on in the world right now than taking care of not only yourself, but other people as well.
Has the gift kind of given you a new appreciation for Cassie and her family as they have nursed you back to health?
100%. It's been so incredible, literally having Amy like be my little nurse and Cassie be there for me, masks and gloves on, supporting me and eating breakfast with me 6-7 feet apart. And Matt has made some killer food for me while I was recovering. So it's been good for all of us. I think I told you and Chris, it's been like a hometown mixed with a happy couple all at the same time. And it's been fun as you can make it in quarantine and in isolation, but they've kept me in really good spirits.
You're in great shape. You are a former NFL player. That's a pretty elite group of strong athletic people. What has it felt like for you, and especially at its worst?
For me, it was like I had access to only 20% of my lungs. And I think the reason why the coughing is so scary and so hard to deal with is because when you cough, you can't get that air back as quickly as you normally can. And I think for me, the scariest part is actually feeling yourself breathe.
Were there moments when you were scared?
There definitely was. I think that Saturday and that Sunday, I tried to put a brave face on just because obviously Cass and her family, and especially at that time, I didn't know if they were going to be getting it. I was scared for them. I was scared for myself. I didn't know. I think that the scariest part is the unknown. Nobody knows what this thing does, how long it's going to last, if it has any permanent damage. I mean, I don't know if I can get it again or if I could relapse. So it's just a scary time right now. And I think that's like the most frightening thing for everybody.
What have you been doing? Have you been watching TV, trying to stay off social media on it? Because even if you're able to talk to somebody, from downstairs or something, it's still a lot of alone time.
Yeah. I've actually used my time to call people that I might not have had enough time for in my busy schedule prior to all of this. I've been talking with my grandma and my grandparents back in Illinois quite a bit, all my aunts and all my cousins. And then I watched a little bit of Netflix here and there, and I played some video games. I've taken it all the way back to playing video games and hanging out and with a little headset on. So I'm trying to stay busy. And then now I'm promoting my book, which is weird timing for all of this. But you know what? If anybody could take anything from it, I'm grateful to have them read it.